And we are live. What's going on, everybody? I am Adam. This is Open Late, especially late in this case. I've been waiting on these figures for what feels like forever. They have finally arrived. I got two figures out of my order, and I'm all in on this line. So through much begging, much pleading, and some confusion and a mistake. Two of my figures have finally arrived. Ironically, I was supposed to get all of wave one, plus some bonus stuff. I didn't. I only got sort of one of my sub orders, and I didn't even get that because the order, the order that got shipped was an order that I placed for a Tiberius and an Atreyu. Only that's not Atreyu. But as I said, I'm all in on the line, and it was a mistake that I was not upset about, because to be honest, this is the figure that I'm sort of most excited for. He's my favorite character. He's the main character. He's pale. They took nearly 2 weeks to get to me from Jason, but they're here now. So let's get into it. Let's get these out of the box. I would be remiss not to thank everybody. I hit 300 subs, which you know, it's it's a milestone for me. It doesn't seem like a lot to some channels, to some people. But I'll be honest, when I started the channel, I thought 100 subs would be significant. So here I am at 300. Hopefully gonna build on that, build some momentum, and keep going because I'm having a lot of fun. That's the honest truth, is that this is just a ton of fun, opening toys with friends, doing videos, chatting with other collectors, and so on and so forth. And as long as I'm doing what I'm enjoying, then I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, let's just very quickly check the comments here. AI was the first commenter, although he commented way before the video started. I think he posted that about an hour ago. Samrock did as well. And Kato sadly came in third, although, he's sort of the first one actively watching, which means something, Kato. I appreciate it. Payne stopped in just before I went live and said, "Can't stay, but I'm glad you finally got some AWOK at them. They're fantastic, and I can't wait for wave 2. I can't wait for the rest of wave 1, let alone wave 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Kato said, about time. You're telling me, brother. And Kato says, congrats on 300. Every milestone matters. Yes, that's how I feel as well. You know, you don't get to 500, you don't get to 1,000, you don't get to 100,000 if you don't get to 300 first. So it's not for nothing. You know that you know I'm appreciative of what I've got. But like I said, you know, when I thought 100 was a lot and I hit 100, I thought, well, heck, why not shoot for the stars, right? Anyway, nobody's here for me. You're here for the figures. As I said, Pale is my most anticipated. He's the one I'm most excited for. So I'm actually going to open him second. I'm going to open up Tiberius first. I got one monkey and I got one kitty. And I'm going to touch on one thing that I don't think I've actually even heard anybody mention. But we'll get there when we get them both open. This is going to be a pretty short video. My lovely wife is away on vacation, so there are 3 children presumably sleeping. But I got to be quick just in case they wake up. They are young, so they could, you know, potentially, you know, freak out, wake up, cry, whatever, and I'll have to go and deal with that. So let's get into it. Let's be quick. Here we get Tiberius. That I really like the orange card back, the sort of insert. Just simple, clean packaging. The white window box with a little bit of sort of leafy design work on the side. Then we get the full wave on the back, as well as a character bio in English, Spanish, French, and 2 other languages. I don't know what the other languages are. I don't speak enough languages to know all of them, but and then some cool art for Tiberius from presumably Utama. But yeah, a little bit of legalese. You know, thank you for your purchase. Heat them up before you know, you do anything. Barcode on the bottom with more legalese, and then we get that side art, which is really, really cool. I'm actually going to display these boxes sort of this side facing out, and it has the house Fairlist symbol on the side there, which is pretty cool. But anyway, let's get them out of the box. Simple packaging, which I appreciate, because packaging costs money, and I would much rather see the money be spent on the figures themselves than the packaging. Little orange baggie of spare hands, which I will pop out of the packaging. So there he is in the tray with all his accessories. So he's got his crossbow, he's got the double axes, and then his sort of mace-like club. For everybody that was teasing me that I don't have nippers, I got nippers. I got lots of nippers. I build Gundam models. Bunch of bullies. All right. This stuff comes out of the package really easy. It's kind of nice. So often you're just like tearing these things out and the plastic is deforming and getting banged around, smashed up. It doesn't work properly after. All right, so let's get this guy standing. We'll take a look at the accessories first, and then I will take a look at the figure itself, if I can get him to stand up. Can I get him to stand up? He wants to fall backwards. Anyway. All right, so as I said, the first things first, the sort of mace-like axe club thing. I don't know, there's probably a name for it. Fully painted silver as well as the brown. Looks very, very nice. There is like wear to the sculpt. So they've actually sculpted in the details to make it look used and abused, and like something that has probably had blood cleaned off of it at some point. Then we get a cool little crossbow, which the only thing, if this had a little elastic to go with it, I would like that. I would have appreciated that. A little bit cool detail on here, sort of a little skull that holds the arrow in. That's a good looking piece. It's a fun accessory. And then, as I said, he's got these 2 axes. They are two of the same. Very, very nice. The silver finish on the blades, sort of the top part, not just the blade, but the sort of top of the axe, is really, really nice. Quite shiny. It's shinier than I anticipated. Like it has a very metallic look. And again, painted top to bottom. Very, very nice. Nice detail, nice sculpt. I think I'm going to pose the figure with those, but I'm not 100% certain. Then we get spare hands. We get 2 fists. We get 2 sort of open emotive type hands. And this is my only nitpick of the line. I've mentioned this before, but it's certainly a nitpick, and it's not really that big of a deal, especially on Tiberius, though. I wish the nails had been painted just like a slightly different shade, an off-white, sort of a cream color, just to highlight them a little bit more. But as I've said before, it's certainly something that I can paint myself. I can fix that or upgrade that on my own. So I'm not really too worried about that specific detail, because that's the kind of thing that costs more money. So I mean, if these figures were $1 more and I had that, maybe. But I mean, is that really a deal breaker? No, it's completely a nitpick, and not something that I'm certainly going to fixate on at all. Man, this guy looks phenomenal, and the sculpt is great. The paintwork is great. The color palette is fantastic. Yeah, first impressions of the first figure, really, really impressed. Very impressed. And right out of the box, sort of when I took him out and was trying to get him to pose, I noticed that the joints are nice and tight. The thigh swivel is nice and stiff. So as soon as you get these guys posed up, they're going to pose up really nice and stay there. They're going to hold their pose, I think, really well. Double jointed knees and elbows. They are, of course, I don't want to force this. I know that nobody's had any issues with these straight out of the box as far as posing them and stuff like that, but I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the first guy to have an issue, breaking one of these figures right out of the package. They're great. It's great, though. It's really, and I've heard everybody sort of say the same thing, that it feels really sturdy. Like it feels like, there's a lot of figure here, butterfly joints, which, are sculpted in so well that you barely notice that they're there, because they're sort of part of the upper shoulder sculpt. And, something that doesn't get sort of talked about all the time, but it makes a big deal. And as soon as I say this, you're going to go look at your shelf full of figures and sort of notice it. But the sort of slope, the sort of connection point between the shoulder, like this part of the shoulder and the top of the arm, so often there's a gap there. And I wish I had a figure at hand so I could show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to grab one because this guy looks phenomenal. And there's like no gap there. Stay there. Who have I got? Oh, man, this guy is guilty as sin of this. This is a bad example because it is so bad. But I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it to sort of show you what I'm talking about. See the gap between this bit and the top of his arm? That's, you know, it's atypical, like it's really exaggerated. But take a look at your figures. You'll find that there's a lot of figures like that. And really, it's because the torso that they used and the arms that they used might not have been a match from the design phase. And they didn't take the time to sort of sculpt them properly. This, on the other hand, is really, really nicely sculpted. There's no break there. It looks very natural, looks very clean, looks very organic. The armor is just so nice. The metallic bits, like sort of all the gold bits, and then there's sort of a metallic tone on the armor that you can kind of pick up. I think, you know, you get a little bit of like a gloss, like a higher gloss finish on that than sort of on some of the rest. Speaking of sort of gloss versus matte, you know, a lot of times people sort of complain that figures look too glossy and it makes them look too much like toys. These don't have that. These don't have the super glossy look to them, except where there's metallic bits. You know, the legs look glossy, look shiny, but that's because they're meant to. You know, they're metallic. But great, man, like all the way to the back too, you know, with the sculpting all through the back armor, all through the skirt, you know, all through the legs, even in the back of the leg bracers, they're still sculpting down there, which and these are softer plastic. The skirting is a softer plastic. Just an absolutely stunning looking figure. And this, like, I've seen everybody do this, you know, the forward crunch is like, he's got more forward crunch than my Super 7 Snake Eyes has leg lift, which is pretty embarrassing. I mean, it is what it is. I knew what I was getting with that Super 7 figure, but I'm just saying, what you can do with these guys is, you know, second to none. There's not a lot of figures, you know, apart from maybe some import stuff that you're gonna get to pose, you know, this well, right out of the package. From what I've seen, at least, you know, I haven't done a lot of posing of this figure. Obviously, I've just gotten it this afternoon. One thing I am gonna do as well, I do wish that there was like a little bit of a black, you know, or something to sort of highlight his mouth there. You can see it in the shadow, but there's like no paint on it, right? So you have to rely on the shadow to sort of see that smirk. I'm just going to use like a Gundam panel liner and just put a little sort of gray line through there just to highlight it a little bit more, you know, when it doesn't get the benefit of nice lighting by default. I can't wait to just play with these. But like I said, I gotta sort of get this done and get the video finished. All right, Super Vanilla Tiberius, there he is. You know, 9 out of 10, because I hate to give a perfect score. But anyway, let's get into Pale. So again, we get the same box, you know, the white box with the that orange insert. I really like that insert, and I like that sort of color palette that they're sort of using for the world. Again, it has the leafy goodness going on there. The nice thing about this window box that I didn't mention with Tiberius is if you get this lit from the top, you're still going to get a lot of light come through. So there's a ton of light inside that box. Again, I don't want to harp on Super 7, but sometimes those boxes sort of limit light. I'm using that one because that's what I opened recently. But and then down here it says Pale in Adventure Armor. So keep in mind, we will be getting more versions of Pale. This is just sort of the first version, the sort of standard version of Pale. Then that really great art from Utama down there as well. The bio, again, in multiple languages. And then all the figures in Wave 1. So anybody that's asking who's in Wave 1, well, there's your Wave 1 right there. Those 6 figures are Wave 1. Collect them all Primal Series Wave 1. I can't wait to get more of them. As I said, as soon as I get the Chunari Legionary and the Horde Ravager, I will do a pop and swap and basically just switch the monkey parts with the armor, just to show a really simple pop and swap sort of how to. The legalese there, the legalese there. Pale on the side again with the House Chunari house sigil there, and that art again on the side. Let's get him out of the box. Boy, oh boy. Feels like it's been forever that I've been waiting for these. Again, you know, a little orange baggie of hands. And that's sort of the catch-22 is this stuff comes out really easily, but in transit, a couple of the pieces have kind of popped loose, but that's fine. I don't really care because, as I said, they're coming out of the package anyway, so I wasn't fussed. I mean, I'm never fussed. I don't really. It takes a lot to really. Come on, my man. Oh, he is loosed. He is loosed from the package. Oh, man. Man, this guy looks so good. He looks so good. Oofa, oofa. Okay, accessories first, and then we'll take a look. But first, let me tighten up the angle here just ever so slightly. Yeah, that'll do. Let me just tidy this up ever so slightly too. That'll do. That looks fine. Okay. So we get the this sort of long. I mean, it's kind of a long dagger, short sword, blade. I don't know. Call it what you want. It's got a really great gunmetal finish to it. The metallic on this is really, really, really nice. He comes with one of these axes as well. So same axe that we got with Tiberius. It is a slightly different shade. The metallic is I think it's a slightly different shade. Maybe I'll have to check it out in daylight. But we also get you know, a two-tone paint job on the handle, which looks really, really good. All of Pale's handles are painted this same sort of burgundy maroon kind of color to more or less match his armor, which we will look at momentarily. Then we get the sword. So this sword is shows up in the comic book a whole bunch. I love this design. You know, a little bit flowy, a little bit organic feeling. I'm really digging the designs of the weapons. They're like between the shields, the blades, everything. Yeah, really digging them. And this one, which is sort of, if you've read the comic book, if you sort of have seen, you know, Pale at work, so to speak, in battle, these blades here are like his go-to. He's using these all the time. These are really cool. The design is fantastic. I like that they're little. I like that they're, you know, subtle. And for an ape to have, you know, something like this, he's going to get in there, he's going to strike, he's going to get out, and he's going to be agile, and he's going to move, you know, get in, get out. I think that's a perfect weapon for him. I think that's you know, a really well sort of designed uh, concept for his character. Then we get spare hands again. Now these are two-tone, and so the nails don't bother me quite as much because there's a little bit more going on here. Tiberius's hands specifically bother me because they're all white, but these don't bother me quite as much. So we get fists, as well as, well, there he goes, falling over. Fists, as well, again, as the sort of open emotive hands. And while I'm talking about hands, I will talk about hands because I don't remember hearing anybody mention this, but and I think I've heard people mention that the feet are different. So the house feralist feet, you know, are sort of a standard foot versus the ape type foot. But the hands are different as well. So the apes have, you know, a little bit different hand. It's bigger. It's more ape-like, and then the cats have a different hand. And I don't know how well you can see it, but if you've got these figures, go check it out. It's a different hand. Like, it's a completely different sculpt, which is, to me, like a really cool touch. You know, the attention to detail. They could have just used the same hands, and I don't think anybody would have said anything different. I think they could have almost used the same feet, and I don't think anybody would have said anything. You know, if they all had these feet, I don't think people would complain. But these ones, and since we're onto the figure, we'll take a look. You know, we have the you know, the ape style, you know, foot hand, foot hand. I don't know. Take one or the other. um, but dang, I picked this guy up and I got distracted. I distracted myself. The paint is fantastic. The sculpt is fantastic. This guy looks phenomenal. I'm so excited. And again, you know, like the detail, the texture on the head, you know, you can see that there's fur to the texture on his head. You know, the mohawk has, you know, a vibe. It's got a whole vibe to it. It's it could have just been straight. It could have been flat. It could have been, you know, okay, but not great. But this is fantastic. It looks absolutely fantastic. The color looks great. You know, the fact that it's just sort of molded in this gray and then not, you know, there's no wash or anything over it. I kind of don't care. I've seen people use a wash and sort of upgrade it a little bit, sort of evolve it a little bit. No pun intended, because he's an ape, but even the texture on the chest. I don't know if you're going to be, yeah, I think you can see that. Like, even the texture on the chest, they could have just done that smooth, but it has it has, you know, more to it than you'd expect. Again, the soft plastic for sort of the loincloth bit, soft plastic for the gauntlets, for the shin guards as well. Absolutely fantastic looking figure. And again, just the way that they've sculpted it, like the butterfly joints look great. I know that most people sort of haven't bothered giving these a hot bath before they posed them up, but I'm sure that after I do give them a hot bath, this thing is going to pose up something fierce. And I can't wait to do that. Honestly, as soon as I'm done this, I'm probably going to go do that and get these guys like really dialed in and just play around with the posing, play around with the sculpting. He's got weapon storage, which I'm pumped on because I love weapon storage. Is he gonna carry a sword? What's he gonna carry? He's also gonna get, I'm gonna use Mythic Legion's belts on these guys so they have more weapon storage. Oh man, so good. He's gonna get panel line on his mouth as well, just because I think that's the one detail maybe that I would say is sort of more needed. Um, Dang man, these are fantastic. And again, like, golly, that's pretty impressive. And the sculpt doesn't look like shit when you do it either. Very nice. Very nice. Jason, I am not disappointed one bit. This figure is so dope. So good. Okay. Sorry, people have been watching. My apologies. I've been completely neglecting comments. I've been way too in my own world. Where was the last? Kato said, man, the weapons in this line are so good. Right? They are so good. They are they're all unique. Like, they don't feel like the weapons that I have for anything else. Um, this feels a little Mythic Legions esque, but everything else feels unique. It feels like on brand. Like if you've read the comic book and you've kind of been in that world a little bit, these all feel so on brand. Kato said agreed on that. Yeah. It's just one of those things that people just sort of overlook. Kato said Pale is so good. He is, man. Like, and I think a lot of people have looked at like Kali or Atreyu and just sort of the fact that there's more design going on with those figures. I love the simplicity of this. It's way harder to do a simple figure than it is to like do a figure with tons of design, tons of armor, tons of all that kind of stuff. This is way harder to pull off, in my personal opinion. And they have absolutely crushed it with Pale. They have absolutely hit it out of the park. Jay, there is a comic book. Didn't I? I feel like I made you read it, Jay. Kato says, yeah, 4 issues so far. And a 5th one, I mean, probably sooner rather than later. I know that Jason's been working on coloring it. I know that it's the pages are done. The pencils are done. Jason just has to color it. He won't give me a date on when it's going to be ready, but my guess is sooner rather than later. Jason, I'm joking. I know you're joking, Jay, because I know you. Kato doesn't, and that's probably for the best, because you're you're a great guy, Jake, but you're an acquired taste. Hey, Ken's here. What's going on, Ken? Yours arrived. As I said at the beginning, 2 of mine arrived. I don't mean to throw Jason under the bus, but I will. I have like multiple orders. I had my backer kit order. I did not back the Kickstarter. I backed the backer kit, or I backed it at the backer kit. Then I ordered more once they arrived. Then I've been chatting with Jason pretty much daily, whether he likes it or not, and ordered more. And the last order that I did was for Tiberius and Atreyu, and he was supposed to ship them all, but he just pulled the last order and ship that. And I said, hey, is there an error? Maybe you just didn't hit fulfill order on the other ones. And he goes, no, I screwed up and I just pulled one order. I just pulled the 2 figures. And no, I didn't say the wrong name. I ordered in this order. It was supposed to be Tiberius and Atreyu, but he misshipped me Pale. And I wasn't disappointed, because, like I said, I was really excited to get a cat as well as a monkey. I was really excited to get Pale because he's my favorite character. So yeah, I'm certainly not complaining, and good things come to those that wait, and these are great things. So I am happy to wait. I am patiently waiting. On top of that, I've been chatting with Jason a little bit about fulfillment for international orders, international customers, a couple ways that he might be able to get them into the international customers' hands a little bit sooner. At this point, though, what I would say is if you're thinking about getting these and you are in Canada at least, get your order in through eCollectibles with Mike through eCollectibles, because it's starting to sound like he may get wave 1 and not wait for wave 2 to arrive. So they may be here sooner rather than later. So go get an order in now while you still can, basically. Ken, I think talking to Cato, so you got your AWOK, Adam got his, little old Ken still camping by his mailbox, all anxious. I wouldn't lose too much sleep over it, Ken. You'll get them soon. It's just not there's some weird issues that Jason has with international orders in his Spotify account. He was getting them basically bounced back, like Spotify wouldn't let him fulfill them for, I don't know. It's all crazy stuff. But anyway, Jay said, if I see these in person, I might get one. I honestly think that you would, because I think, the photography that you do, the sort of stuff that you do with your figures, I think these are right up your alley. I genuinely believe that. That's not just me, telling people to go and buy these figures. That's genuinely me saying to you, Jay Wright, that I think these guys suit you pretty well. Jay says, I'm not over the moon with them. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. They do have an aesthetic, right? They do have a certain aesthetic. They do look very much straight out of the page of the comic book. Utama's art is, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I think it's Utama. Utama's art style, I'm absolutely loving. Just like, my apprehension with these, the reason I didn't back the Kickstarter is 100% because they didn't quite fit the aesthetic of any other line that I was doing at the time. Get out of here, Jay. Get out of here with that. Yes, Jay, there's a comic book. But yeah, these are pulled right off the page, like down to the eyes, down to the design, like everything about it is just like bang on to the comic book. And the comic book is fantastic. Like if you're a comic book reader, it's well worth, the $2 for a digital edition to go and grab issue 1. Even if you're not going to get into the figures, do yourself a favor and pick up the comic book, because it's a good comic book. It's not just a good toy comic book. It's legitimately like one of my favorite comic books to read. I'm way behind on my comic books, partly because every time I have time to read comics, I pull up my AWOK comics and read them again. That's how much I absolutely love that book. But like I said, it's not for everybody. I mean, not everybody is going to have the same reaction to the comic book or the toys that I do, and that's fine. I can appreciate that. But for me, this is the line, man. These are the figures for me right now. AI says, I need these in my hands. Yeah, man. They're you're not gonna be disappointed. Like I said, they kind of have the feel of they definitely have that boutique feel. The joints are really, really nice and crisp. They almost even feel ratcheted in like in all the joints, not just this. Oh, he's not making the noise, but I can feel the ratchet. He's not making the ratchet noise. Whereas Pale, and he doesn't want to stand up. Nice. You could just hear that goodness, that beautiful posability that he's gonna have. But yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. Super, super nice. Brick says, holy, congrats, can't hang because of dumb deadlines, but saw this thumbnail and got excited. I sent you a message hours and hours and hours ago. You were the second person that I messaged. I messaged Jason first, and I messaged you right after. What this? Oh, did I say Spotify? Yes, I did mean Shopify. Did I say either? I don't remember saying either, but anyway. Jay said, I like the 4-inch thick dudes, not gonna lie. Makes sense. Jay says, let's see some two-handed poses. Do you mean pose like arms crossed in front of them? Is that what you mean? Because I can do that. I should be able to do that. On unheated, it's not. I haven't loosened these up yet, but. I mean, they'll easily get into that pose, and that's straight arm. I haven't even bent his elbow or anything like that, right? So, I'm not even like putting any pressure on, really. I'm just sort of getting it to sort of stand as is, like that. Is that what you meant by two-handed poses? I don't know what you meant by two-handed poses. I'm definitely, I mean, like I said, I'm going to give these guys a nice warm bath and get them posed up. And I'll probably spend like still resealable packages. Well, yeah, I mean, like, resealable how? I mean, I don't know what Jay, why are you asking me all these weird 2 hands and a weapon? 2 hands on one weapon? I'll pose them up. I'll send you some pictures later, Jay. Needless to say, these are absolutely everything that I hoped for, everything I anticipated. I can't wait to sort of play around with them, pose them up a little bit better, loosen up a couple of the joints. Like I said, the joints are like quite stiff. But that's you know, what's barbarian pose? What are you doing to me, Jay? What do you? I don't know what that means. What's a barbarian pose? Is that like the sword above the head? Is that what you're? Let's see. Let me see if I can. Is that a Conan reference? Because I've seen Conan like one time. Also, I don't want to force it because these are new. I don't want to like break anything or like. Oh man, it pops right in his hand. No problem. I'm actually really impressed by that. But am I going to get it two-handed that easily? Probably not quite so easily. Okay, so it's not a sword, but that again, like, so that's without rotating the arm in, because if I rotate the arm in, it'll be even easier. But I kind of wanted to see if it'll do it just without kind of janky posing, and it will easily. So as soon as I rotate these, it's, yeah. I mean, is that sort of what you're looking for? What do you want from me, Jay? Yes, they absolutely can. like I said, it's easily doing it on the spot. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to do it on the spot. I'm not doing a very good job. But yes, you can very easily grip a sword with two hands, and presumably hold it over his head if you spend more than 8 seconds trying to do it on demand, because you don't understand the requirements. I didn't get what you're asking for. Even just like messing around with them a little bit, they're loosening up a little bit, and they are, yeah, they're great. Dope. Stay. Yeah. I had an idea of what you were talking about, but Sam Rock said they are cool looking figures. They are really cool looking figures, and in person, I would say they look better than they do on video, because up until now, that's all I had was on video. But yeah, can't wait to get to the rest. Sorry, can't wait to get the rest of the Wave 1 figures. Can't wait to get Wave 2 stuff in. All the Primal Ancients, all the weapons packs, Thane, Tanger, all the figures coming in the game. I can't wait to get the game. I mean, I'm pretty fired up about this line, and getting these guys in hand really solidifies that for me. I am like, these are phenomenal. Apart from, like I said, a couple nitpicks as far as deco goes, these are damn near perfect figures, pretty flawless. And I can't help myself. I keep reaching to like grab to grab them and play with them. Jay, are the heads swappable? They absolutely are. And there are head packs coming, which I've ordered. Just sort of standard. They're all interchangeable. They're all the same size. I'm not going to swap it because that'll look weird to have an orange head on a gray body. But yeah, there's articulation here as well. So there's neck articulation as well as the ball joint. So there's a ball joint for the neck piece as well as a ball joint for the head. So tons of articulation. Just, man, I can't say enough about these. And I was telling people to buy them sight unseen. I will unapologetically tell people now, having had them in hand, if you're not buying these, you're nuts. If you are buying action figures and you're not buying these, you are bonkers, because these look stunning. They're going to pose up amazingly. The accessories are great. The paint apps are great. The deco, oofa, so nice. Scott Baker, somebody got some AWOK. Nice. I did, my man, and I'm absolutely over the moon with them. I can't wait to heat them up, warm them up, get those joints really going. Eldor has joined. What's going on, my friend? Show a scale shot with something close by. Okay, I have a Marvel Legends figure because I grabbed him to show something else earlier. They are larger than Marvel Legends. I have Mythic Legions close enough by that I can grab one of these. Let's create a little bit of space here. They scale pretty well with Mythic Legions. They're like, from where I'm sitting, these guys are virtually the same size. He looks a little smaller because he's a little bit further behind, so it's just perspective and camera. But they're virtually the same scale. Stature wise, they're pretty close as well. So I would say that they mix pretty well with those. What else have I got? I get this guy out of the way because he doesn't fit. He doesn't look good in there. I got one more thing that I can grab close by. seems appropriate too. Super 7 Thundercats, Lino, and they scale. Tiberius' brother from another mother, Lino, and those again, like the scale is just about perfect on those. He's a little bit bulkier, sort of in the shoulders and through the chest. But scale wise, they all look good. Mythic Legions, Super 7 Ultimates, AWOK. Get to mix in your lines. They're gonna look good. They're gonna look good. Jay, I'm telling you. Jay. You're gonna want one of these. You're gonna buy one at some point. So you may as well get an order in for one sooner rather than later. Apologies, I got to pose this all back up nice now because that's as we've established in previous videos. That's how I roll. All right. Elder says, yes, I brought up AWOK on Oz's stream there tonight as we went over all new indie toy companies coming out. Yep, this is absolutely probably my favorite. Jay says, snarf, snarf, indeed. I just happened to watch the episode where Snarf's nephew is with the other Snarfs. I watched that yesterday, actually. Zazel, what is going on, my friend? How's it going tonight or tomorrow, I guess, for you? Jay, I want the Beastman tribute. Which one do you mean? There's the Primal Ancients, which is like the one that's this size, and then there's like the really big one, which is the Power Gone one. Tanger, which is a PowerCon exclusive. I think you can still go on and order it, but it's not cheap to get it to Canada. But it looks absolutely fantastic. Zazel says it's Tuesday afternoon here in Australia. Yep, there he is, Zazel, living in the future. Yeah, Jay, the PowerCon one, it looks awesome. As of the weekend, it was orderable. But I don't know how much it cost. I secured one. Somebody else is hooking me up with one, so I'm happy to be getting that one. Still not cheap, even through somebody who was nice enough to get one for me and ship it to me. But it's it is what it is. That's the only way I'm gonna get one. So Jay says marsupials are in the future. Are they? Because I know a lot of the stuff that's in the future. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. But that would be kind of a funny play on Australia. Like if they did a kangaroo that was from the future. I'm not gonna lie, that's a really clever idea, and I'm definitely gonna mention that to Jason. Because now the idea of a kangaroo that's from the future, or you know what they should do is a Tasmanian devil, but he's from the future. Or a Tasmanian tiger, but he's from the future. That doesn't make sense because he's extinct. So would he be from the past? Could he time travel? Could you just say he time travels? So many ideas. This is great. These are the you know, the ideas sessions that that make lines like this amazing. Jason's not gonna listen to anything I say, but anyways, guys, like I said, I was trying to do this quick. We're just short of an hour. An hour is usually my mark. Eldor says, yeah, a bit of a time jump. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, if you could travel to the future or you travel to the past, couldn't you go in both directions? I would presume. So, so maybe that's something to bring up and broach with Jason. But anyways, guys, as you guys sort of all knew, you know, these figures I was so excited for. Man, I feel like I've been waiting forever to get these. They were worth the wait. They are absolutely stunning, fantastic figures. I can't wait to get the rest of Wave 1, Wave 2 soon enough. Pre-order on that game wave coming up. Man, good stuff from this line, from this brand, and the dudes behind it too are just all good dudes, and they just want to make more cool products. So I would say if you're thinking about getting into this line, get in now, because I think it's going to blow up really, really soon, especially once Wave 2 hits and we get Thane, we get sort of the bigger buck. I think that's going to be where this stuff really takes off, and I think a lot of this Wave 1 stuff might get really hard to get sooner rather than later. So do yourself a favor and grab one of these, whether it's through Spiro Toys directly through their website, through eCollectibles.ca, or whatever sort of store works for you, works with you, in your neck of the jungle, as it were. Grab one or two of these, and if you don't like them, you got something loose, because like I said, these are great figures. Anyways, guys, hey, better late than never, I suppose. What's going on, Jason? Did you catch our time traveling marsupials idea for for the line? If not, I'll fill you in later. But yeah, guys, pick up a figure or two. You will not be disappointed. These are absolutely beautiful figures, and the articulation is super, super good, and they're going to be a lot of fun to play with. So don't sleep on them, for sure. As I always like to say, oh wait, I just missed the comment that I just saw. Never mind. I saw Jay's comment, and Jay, I just saw your comment. I'm not reading. I just saw koala, and Jason said, "It's me. I'm here." Yeah, I know it's you. Sorry, I'm coloring issue 4. Wait, issue 4? Right, issue 4. For some reason I was thinking issue 4 was out, but it's issue 4. Issue 4 you're coloring right now. Yeah. Can't wait for issue 4. I have an idea of what we're going to get in issue 4, but I can't wait. Like I said, guys, the comic book is so good. And if you're a comic book reader, like I said, it is a good comic book. It's not just a good toy comic book. It is legitimately a good comic book, and one of the very, very few comics that I have read multiple times, because there's great world building, there's great characters, the art is fantastic. I absolutely can't say enough about the comic book, and now that I have them in hand, I can't say enough about the toys. So thank you guys all for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. As I like to say, it's always more fun to open toys with friends. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get notifications for stuff like this, where I basically set it up an hour before I go live, hit that notification button, and you'll get you'll hopefully get the notifications for when I'm going live. On that note, guys, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye bye.